Hey guys, welcome back. It's Elise, and we have another money show where I'm going to be talking about namely our economy, because our economy is hanging on by a thread. And y'all know I like to chat, so I'm coming to y'all every week with some things that are pertinent, kind of like more so current events. Starting with this thing right here, the Dow Jones. We're at 41,841, I guess, cents and $63.63. I don't know what the 41,000 thing is measured in, but that's where we're at. And we're actually coming up from a last week's low. But before we get into actual numbers of the markets, let's get to like what I'm going to be talking about this week. So I'm going to start with, are we crashing? And by crashing, I mean the stock market. And we're going to go back to that and a few other articles that I found about last week and how there was the beginning of a market correction. Then I want to talk about Warren Buffett, because he is making moves, and more so not making moves, that I feel we can learn from, because he is arguably the best investor that we have right now. And then I'm going to talk about gold as an investment, because I don't know much about gold, and I looked into it a little bit and was able to learn some things, and I wanted to share it with y'all. So let's go to the next slide. So the stock market, it is drawing back as of last week for sure. It is too soon to say if we are in a recession. That's what a lot of news articles and your regular cable or local news is debating. Are we going to a recession? A lot of people are not trying to spend right now, and I'm not trying to spend. And as much as that may save my individual pockets, if everybody does that, that's going to still affect us, and it might be putting us into a recession. Because if I'm only taking money from my job that I make and not spending it, if everybody's doing that, eventually the people aren't going to come to my job. Not you low-key hope we get into one. Okay, but it's good for the stocks and real estate. I agree. I'm watching that too. But I got to say, I'm a little nervous about other things, and we'll get into that. So for some context, let's go back to some statistics. President Biden's high was 43,077. Trump's high right after he got reelected went up to 45,000. But last week, I think this was last Tuesday, it dropped to 41.4. Then I want to say Thursday or Friday, it got real bad to 40,800. We had the weekend, and today ended up with almost 1,000 more. So we could be rebounding, or it could go down some more. I don't know. But the things that led to it were, we've been fighting with Canada. Our president, good, bad, and different, no matter how you feel about him, we have been fighting with Canada, and it's having some consequences. The first one being that Canada took U.S. liquor off of its shelves. I'm going to show y'all some more context about it. Give me 1 second. Remove. Let's see. Kentucky's bourbon makers are up in arms about Canada yanking their bottles off the shelf. Canada's not playing with us. They are not getting liquor with us anymore. For us Floridians, they are thinking about selling their house and not coming to spend vacations with us anymore. And that's because Trump decided he was going to do 25% tariffs on some things that they import into their country. As a result, Canada said they are going to put 25% tariffs on $155 billion worth of American goods, as well as they were threatening to not cut off their electricity, but charge 25% tariffs off of that. That happened, I think, the week before last. And then last Tuesday, Trump said, okay, instead of 25%, it's going to be 50%. At that point, the Canadian government, okay, I guess they could not fight that. So they said, okay, we're not going to charge y'all 25% on y'all's electricity, but our relations with them is super horrible now. And we are going to have to figure that out. And it's not just our relationship with them, it's our relationship with the world. The European Union is imposing tariffs on us. Mexico is doing it as well. And it's just putting us in a bad way. So that leads us to think, like, is that going to mess with our recession? Another thing that's happening is that he's influencing the electorate to buy Teslas. And I don't know if y'all saw that scene where he made the whole White House a used car dealership for Tesla, but Elon's stocks are going down, and that supposedly is making him poorer than he is comfortable with being, even though he does not mind making us poor, especially with purging all of the government. But that's what's going on, and I don't know if the stock market is drawing back. What do y'all think? He says, Chadford says, I think that's a good thing because it'll force us to buy more American products supporting our country and economy more rather than other countries. Okay. That is a thought. That is supposedly why the president is doing that. Only time will tell. We're only in month 3 of this situation. We got 45 more to go, and we will see. If he's right, a lot of us are going to have egg on our face. If he's wrong, he's going to have egg on his face. So we'll see. And now we're going to go into good old Warren Buffett. Y'all, Warren Buffett is making moves, and he is someone that I have decided I'm going to be paying attention to, because he says when people are scared, that's when you make a move. And when people are making moves, that's when you should be scared. And why I'm doing this is because he has sold a lot of fintech stuff. And to be specific, he sold a lot of his position in Bank of America, Citigroup, Capital One, and New Holdings, which is, I think, a Brazilian company. However, he has kept tech. So like a lot of the Magnificent Seven he kept. He did sell a little bit of Apple, but that has me thinking, who has bank stuff? That's housing to me, mortgages, even some car loans, credit cards. That's telling me that he doesn't think we're going to do well in that sector. I'll go to an article I found. Give me one moment. Stop screen. Present. Where it says, Warren Buffett is selling Bank of America and Citigroup stock and piling it into this high yield investment instead. It goes a little bit more. It says financial stocks are on the chopping block at Berkshire. Let's see. Again, Citigroup is one that he sold. Bank of America is one that he sold. New Holdings is one that he sold. He is selling all this finance stuff. It does say somewhere in here that he has stopped. He has kept tech, even though he sold a little bit of Apple, he still sees that as value. The only time Warren Buffett sells stuff, if he sees the value going away and he wants to keep the value that he bought, he kind of buys high before everybody realizes it's going down. But the thing about it is that he is not buying any other large stakes in other companies, which tells us, if we follow him, that he doesn't see anything as valuable, which is why this article at the top is saying, let me switch this over here, that he is piling it into this high yield investment instead. And that high yield investment is treasury bills, specifically short-term treasury bills. And it says that he favors this short-term bond as a place to keep excess capital. And that's because they typically have lower yields and they ensure capital preservation. So it's like kind of like a high yield saving account, and they are not susceptible to interest rates like I guess they have been in the past. So even when interest rates go low, theoretically that might happen if we are in a recession, those interest rates tend to stay high. So let's say they're 5% right now and they have to be adjusted nationally, the rates go down to like 3, those will still stay at 5%. So in a way, he's sitting on all this cash, which I think is over 300 billion. I don't know how much it is, but it's a lot. and he's getting his interest on it and he's waiting to pounce. So that's why here put at the bottom, he's purchasing short-term bonds. But the key to this is that he is not, can I pull up those stock performances? Like which ones? Bank of America, Citigroup, the one that he sold? Let me know, Chapper. And he is just waiting on an opportunity. So he feels, this is what I'm thinking. He's feeling that it's going to get bad within the next few years. And he's sitting on a bunch of cash in these short-term treasury bonds so that he will be able to cash them out because they're only short-term. And yeah, he wants to buy them. He wants to buy companies when they go to hell. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so let me go to, I can do that. 1 second. Stop screen share. Let's go to Dow Jones. Share. Now we got to find it. Let's see. Bank of America. Bank of America Corporation. Let me see if we can see it. Yeah. So Bank of America Corporation is 41.4 right now. Let's go into 1 year. It wasn't very high. It was at 36. Now it's at 41. Let's go the last 5 years. It looks like it was going high, but now it's going low. But in the last few years, 2 years ago, it was at 29.19. It's never really been higher than 50 in the last 5 years. Now let's go to Citigroup, CITI Group. All right, Citigroup right now is at $60, almost $70. And let's go back to a year. It looked like it was trending up until February. Let's go out into 5 years. 5 years ago, it was at 43. Right now, it's at 70. So I think he sold it probably. Okay, let's give him even at the end of last year. Let's say he sold it at 72. He would have bought it pretty high if the lowest was 43. So he made a profit by selling it. And if it continues to go down, he at least got his money's worth out of it. Again, makes sense. I don't know. That's why they call him the Oracle. For sure. So I thought those short-term treasury bonds were interesting. Another thing that it said in the article is that he's not buying back stock. So that made me think, like, what is corporate buyback procedures? Because I've heard about it before, but I'm like, how do they do it? Because this is an option that several companies do when they are doing better. You know, they're supposed to reinvest it into their employees, but they don't. And instead they buy up stock and make their stockholders more rich. So I looked it up because I had the pleasure of doing it. And real simple, it was, let me share it with y'all. Stop screen. Boop, boop. I just simply typed in, how does a corporation buy back stock? And it says a corp can buy back stock through various methods, including open market repurchases, tender offers, and direct negotiations with large shareholders. So in a way, I guess they are familiar with who has a large amount of their stock and they give them an offer, cash for the stake back in the company. Also, there was another thing that went more into depth with it. What is a stock buyback? And then here it says a stock buyback is when a public company, let me make this bigger, buys its own stock on this open market. A company may do this to return money to shareholders that it doesn't need to fund operations and other investments. In the stock buyback, the company purchased shares on the secondary market from any and all investors that want to sell. Shareholders are under no obligation to sell back to the company, and it doesn't target any specific group of holders. It's open to everybody. I guess you have to be super really big to get word. It must be like an inside thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. I wish these companies would not do that and use that cash to maybe give their employees raises, because that's a thing and cost of living is high, but they are choosing not to do that. Anyway, back to the show. The last thing I want to talk about is investing in gold. And this idea came from, if you look at this picture right here, this is a picture of a short from YouTube, from this YouTuber named Humphrey Yang. And he went viral because he bought this as a screenshot of him buying it from Costco. And when he bought it last year, it was $2,359.99. Gold is an asset that also generally appreciates over time, like diamonds and stock and real estate. In January 2025, the price was $2,600 per ounce. This little gold bar is an ounce. And in March, it's up to $2,990. How do I know that? I'm gonna show you how I know it, because let's see. I looked up this website when I was like, how do I find out how much gold is? And it's called gold.org. And it says gold spot prices. So if you go all the way down here, it tells you. And right now, as of the 14th, that was last Friday, I believe, it's $2,978. And you think that's expensive now, but the lowest it's ever been since around, let me see, max. Let's go to max. When it first started selling, it was $35 per ounce. The year I was born, let's go. It was $349. And it's gone up. So naturally, I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to have some gold. But I feel like if I don't buy it soon, it's going to be $4,000. And I'm going to be mad that I didn't buy it at $3,000, right? It's available at Costco too. It's super simple. Costco has invested in doing this as well. So they are a vendor for it. It's super simple. You should check out his YouTube channel because he shows you the process from going to say you want a gold bar to paying for it, and then where they send you to pick it up in the store and then going home. And that's it, y'all. I love to end the show with how you're giving yourself a raise. So Chapper, you've been talking to me. Have you given yourself a raise this last week, either financially, physically, or mentally? I will start with myself. I sold my car before it became a liability. And that is going to be this week's video coming up. I sold the car because I got tired of putting money into it, and I saw where it was going. So my plan, let's see. Yep, that's true for gold. I was hesitant in buying gold in 2030. Oh, you did it. I know you're happy. I know you made a return. Yes. I think I'm going to make that leap. I wanted to do crypto. I'm not saying I'm not going to do crypto, but I think I want to get in on this gold. What have you? Okay. 300 videos. I know it's going. I'm the little machine that keeps going. Thanks for being a day one. Yeah. We're at 300. What have you been doing? What did you do to give yourself a raise? I sold my car because I was tired of it. Now I don't have a car. I'm learning to live life without a car, but it's honestly not that bad. It's not that bad. And the money I got from the car gives me a few months emergency savings, or it will be the down payment on my next car next year. The reason why I'm not buying a car right now is because I do not want a car payment. And more importantly, the payment wouldn't be that much. It's the insurance. In Miami, insurance is super expensive. And I'm not trying to pay at least $270 for a newer car. So yeah. Physically, making and going to all my health appointments in Q1, y'all need to go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Ooh, what did you do? I paid off my last auto loan and decided that I'm not going to buy new. Okay, good. Do you have multiple cars? But anyway, congratulations. Congratulations. No more auto loans. And now you can call your insurance company if you wanted to decrease your insurance because you don't have to do the full stuff on it. But that's up to you. I have no idea. I do not know. Let me Google. Is Warren Buffett? I've looked up his Wikipedia before, and it doesn't say. Sometimes it'll say your religion on Wikipedia. Let's see. Early life and education. He was born August 30th in 1930 in Omaha, Nebraska. It doesn't say anything about his religion. He could be not. I have no idea. Yes, physically, I agree with you. You need to do annual checkups. Look at it, saving money and planning if you're not healthy. Yes, especially if you have insurance. If you have insurance, all the annual checkup, which does a lot of preventative medicine that checks off a lot of the preventative stuff like high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol, as well as your thyroid. Get that done. If you're a lady, get your lady stuff done. It's very important. And I say that because if you're poor in America, that can be the new way of how poverty can take you out. Just because you wait until it's stage 4 or 3 when you could have got it done in stage 1. So please get it done. I'll say that I used to be a healthcare professional, kind of still am, just don't practice. And I know the value of fixing a medical problem when it's really small. American medicine can do a lot for you when you fix it, when you nip it in the bud. But trying to work backwards is very expensive. And then mentally, I've been taking daily walks in the sunshine because I live in Florida. Why not? One says, right. I was curious for the insurance rate for a Hellcat. And it came out to $800 a month. Yes, I have 3 cars. Going to have to arrange. Okay, yeah. No, my neighbor was telling me he got a new Kia SUV. He pays $500 for the payment and $350 for the insurance. $850 a month. I'm not going to do it. I pay nothing now. And I think to get around, normally I can get away with just paying $200. As far as healthcare, as health raise, eating cleaner foods like sweet potatoes, leafy greens, and leaner meats, and working out. Yes, very good. All right, proud of you. Because there's no point in caring about our money and our health isn't good. And a lot of them CEOs, they make sure they work out every morning. They do because they know that all of this is for naught if you're not healthy. So even if you don't have money financially, your health really is your wealth. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys so much. There were like 4 to 5 of y'all this week. I appreciate it. I'm going to be coming back. Let me know in the comments if there's something that you want me to look up for next week. I will gladly do it. I'm a professional looker-upper. Love to do it. And now I've just brought my love to do it on YouTube. And I share with people who like to talk about money things too. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see y'all next week. Until then, deuces.